And welcome to In The N.O. I know you guys missed us after our All-Star hiatus. Mr. and I are back to do a post-game about the Pelicans winning to an electric game. How was your 2 weeks?
Good. I mean, I didn't have to have this like eternal conflicting priorities around the Pelicans, right? Where it's like, oh, nice. I'm glad to see they're playing well. No, they can't. They shouldn't be winning. But we're back, and that's exactly what this game was.
Yes, that's a great way. It went from oh no, this is why they only won 13 games to they actually won their 14th game because they've been playing well for like 16 minutes.
Yeah. So no, it was good. I enjoyed I enjoyed some of All-Star Weekend. I'll say some of it.
You don't want to talk about the Beards being back in the Bronx?
Oh man, I'm look. That's the good news. Yeah. Unfortunately, the head coach is still there.
Hey! Y'all treat that man so poorly. Again, y'all. If you want David Ross, you can have him. Even though we fired him, it gets much worse. Schmidt isn't here because he was moved right at the trade deadline with cash considerations to the Mavs along with Anthony Davis. That was the last fine print that no one saw. But yeah, we're back. Like I said, we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about I guess Kelly Olynyk and Bruce Brown being on the team, and get Mason thoughts on the BI trade because he wasn't here for the trade deadline special. And then because we played the Spurs, we're going to talk about Wemby and things surrounding Wemby. So Mason's frozen. So there he is. I was going to mimic you and give your thoughts on the deal, but you're here now.
I can hear you. I'm closing a bunch of shit on my computer.
All right,
that fixes things. But yeah, I was with you guys for some of the trade deadline pod that you and Adam did. I was attending I was a spectator. I wasn't involved
in chat.
He was in chat. Yeah. I mean, what? Want to start with BI?
Sure. Whatever. Go with it. Like, I've given my thoughts on the day, but basically, and he got paid. So happy you got paid. Happy you found a suitor. Wish you well wishes. Thank you for all you did, especially the 2022 playoffs. And good luck in the future.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, we've had I guess on the trade first. I mean, I think that was as much as you could have reasonably expected to get for him based on everything we heard. And like, look, we also talked about, at some point, do you just hang on to him either for bird rights reasons or to give him an actual extension? I think getting what they got was enough for me to say it's time, right? I wish I hadn't stopped there, but I mean, I can't say that. I can't say that trading CJ would have helped the Pelicans lose this game. I think enough players. I think enough players played well tonight that maybe that doesn't matter. But
yes.
Anyway, your initial point. Look, BI. It's been a ride, right? We've had some frustration with him, but we've also, he was not like, he was widely renowned as not the best player the Pelicans were getting in the Anthony Davis trade.
Yes.
And he became the best player, right? And like, and so there is something to be said for that the Pelicans, he was, he played really well. The Pelicans, I think, developed him the right way. And he was a core piece of this team. And the thing I mentioned in the chat to you guys when you and Adam were talking is like, how pretentious are we to start bitching about the first big wing who's worth a shit that we've had in a decade, like more than that since Peja. You guys nailed it. Like Peja was the last one, and so all of a sudden we got this awesome small forward who the thing that's eluded the Pelicans for the entire existence of the franchise, pretty much, and like and so. Now, I mean, obviously now they got Herb Jones, and it feels more normal, but it wasn't. And so he was. I mean, like you can't say enough good things about what BI injected into the franchise with kind of this. I mean, loyalty to the team. He never it never felt like he didn't want to be in the city. Money talks, right? But at the same time, we've had players who actively did not want to be here, and so I overall am happy Brandon Ingram was a Pelican. We had a lot of great moments with him. I hope he kicks ass with Toronto. It's nice that we can get a Toronto pick. I can actually say I hope he kicks ass with Toronto.
Exactly.
And not worry about a draft choice. So
Pacers, your days are numbers in 2026. Your days are numbers.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it was time, you know.
Yep. Just the last couple of things on that. When he was on Instagram, you saw how many fans appreciated him. And that's normally something, and we talked about it, but he just saw the outpouring of appreciation from the fan base, and he appreciated that. And it was for the first time, no one's leaving on a bad note within the city, apparently, and with the organization. So that was great to see.
Yeah, for sure.
As for the guys coming in, Bruce Brown and Bruce Brown's expiring contract, plus a theoretical stretch big in Kelly Olynyk. My quick take on it, and it was evident in this game, especially with Kelly. I mean, it's a nice way possible. He's an asshole. Like the way he picked up that shooting foul against De'Aaron Fox basically tells you exactly how he plays. He's an irritant. He's a jerk. He will pick up fouls on the other end, but you hated him for a decade. Now he's your guy. You're gonna love him for as long as he's on this podcast, on this team. You?
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, Bruce Brown's expiring contract, which you never know, right? If he, I'm gonna talk about all this within the context of the Pelicans are going to try to win next year, and I know that's a bigger conversation with the DeJounte Murray injury and all that, and whatever happens with the draft pick. But we'll see with Bruce Brown. They'll have his I think they'll have his bird rights, right? Or was that not long enough? Yeah. So I don't know.
Hold on.
How long was his contract?
It was 2 years. So
it was 2 years. So they won't.
They won't have his bird right.
Yeah, that's right.
And I doubt they try to give him 100%, 120% more to keep him.
No, that's fair. So he's dead salary, but Kelly Olynyk, he can help, right? I mean, he can help a team. He shouldn't be a starter like he is right now. But he can certainly help as a backup big. And so, if the Pelicans aren't winning next year, they can flip him at the deadline, along with CJ or wherever CJ gets moved. But look, I mean, it was not about that, right? It was about the draft pick that they got and getting BI into a different situation and making the team worse this year to maximize the draft pick.
One other thing that, I mean, it's been going on for 2 months, 3 months, so it won't be discussed. You traded BI for Trey, like all the everything, getting them out the system, getting the expiring, getting the pick. You also got your big wing of the now in Trey Murphy, so that was the other part of the trade that can't be overlooked.
If that's kind of the logic we're going to play out, then also not just him. I mean, Jordan Hawkins, right? Finding more minutes for him. It's a youth movement, right? It's trying to get other young guys who can contribute. Like with BI, we're still going to be on the team for the rest of the year. You're kicking the can down the road with Jordan Hawkins specifically, and not getting him the right type of minutes to actually see what you have with him. And look, other guys, I mean, different position, but Jose, it probably isn't playing quite as much. And like Jose was awesome tonight, So it's good to see some of the younger guys get more action. That's a byproduct of Brandon Ingram not being in the lineup.
I'm gonna say it again. If Jose was 6'3", I think he makes 9 figures. He's that impactful of a player.
Yep.
Like he's really good. Like
yeah.
Total contract for 9 figures. Speaking of the game,
that play with Zion with him and the passing ball back and forth.
Yeah, the give and go. Like
awesome.
He's just such a smart player, man. He's just a smart, impactful, pesky player. Speaking of the game, let's go to the player of the game, the person of the game, the most impactful athlete, and that's Drew Holiday, number 11 in the baby race. Joel and AD was hyping up the baby race, and they were so happy. And my man AD said 11's gonna win. And I don't know if he got inside information. I don't know if a sudden Antonio's just scooped Daniels all of a sudden, but Lil Man was booking it.
It was cooking, man. That was the worst baby race I've ever seen because it was over.
It took over 17 seconds. Every other baby race takes all of halftime. The Pelicans operation was like, hold on. So we have to do something else now. This kid understood the assignment. My
man Joel with the horse racing analytics and betting odds, and then AD coming over the top like, this guy looks as old as me. He's gonna win.
Oh man! Apparently, afros are aerodynamic because my man was getting it. Like he said, the baby top speed, no change of direction, just a north-south runner. He north-south crawler. He understood the assignment and he just went. Oh man! Sorry, Carlo. I know it's your career high. It's a great game from you, but the goat of the night was Lil Man number 11. Anything else we want to talk about for the game? Zion and Trey combined, I think. Let me look at the stats to confirm. 14 of 33 they combined and they won by double digits.
Is that CJ and Trey?
No, that was Zion and Trey. 14 of 33, 8 of 17 for Zion, 6 of 16 for Trey. CJ contributed with 4 of 11. That's your big three.
Yeah, like I guess. Yeah, like I guess I was the thing that was it kind of what you're talking about. The thing that impressed me the most with the game was, one, they crawled out of a huge hole in the first half, but also I think that CJ and Trey both having a not great game. Usually, if they're going to win, one of those two dudes has to go off. And
40.
Neither one did. And they still won a game that was supposed to be like, I think it was like a 2-point spread. So they had Vegas had basically a coin flip, more or less. Yes. And so to be able to, come back from that deficit with really neither CJ or Trey filling it up, and Zion, to your point, he had a really good game, but he wasn't scoring efficiently.
Yeah, it wasn't scoring much.
Yes. Yeah, and so you mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 players in double figures. I mean that, and that wasn't garbage time stuff. Like that was 7. That was, maybe Hawk a little bit, but like 7 dudes in double figures, like a real double figure. So
it impacted the game.
Yeah,
doing the thing that we didn't think they could ever do. They rebound the basketball time and time.
Yeah,
they got themselves second chance efforts.
Misi and Kelly, 30 boards between them.
The two big lineup worked. Zion chipped in with 9 rebounds himself. They just took advantage of a small team that normally has a huge, lanky guy who may be the face of the league, according to Anthony Edwards. Wemby wasn't there; he's out for the year. Prayers up. We just had a guy, Brandon Ingram. He had a similar situation with blood clots. They're expecting him to be back. Also, Pop, prayers up to him with still dealing with the complications of the stroke. He's not going to be here for the rest of the year. Which leads me back to Wemby. He's out after 48 games. The NBA implemented the 65 game minimum to be able to get awarded at the end of the season, Trey he only has one game to miss, or he won't be eligible for it if you want some most improved player action going in the Pelicans way. Um, but Wemby didn't make it. He won't make it because he's out for the year. 5 minutes before the announcement by Shams, he was minus 2,500 to win Defensive Player of the Year. And multiple media outlets said that he was on their first or second All NBA teams. Your thoughts on the entire thing that's been that's happened since 2013, 2023. So I'm sorry, 2023.
Yeah, I got you. So I got a couple thoughts. One is I understand putting a minimum on games played. I do. The reason behind it being, we want guys to play and not rest, take games off. That more than necessary, right? That said, there is a real chance that Wemby finishes the season with the most blocks in the league. Like there's a real chance. I mean, because he is right now. He has 176 blocks. Second is Brook Lopez at 108.
He has 4.9 stocks a game. 4.9. Like, and you feel him, so it's not empty numbers. But go ahead.
No, I mean, like that's. I mean, that's it. I mean, there's got to be. I don't know what the middle ground is, but like, if he only plays 48 games, but he leads the freaking league in blocks over the course of the season still, like, and he can't win the award. And like, I know it's a counting stat, right? It doesn't mean you're the best defensive player, but I mean, kind of.
He yes, and Servin, I hope I don't butcher his name. You butcher your name, but I also despise this rule. I just, for the number one reason is, you're telling your writers that they aren't smart enough to understand who is deserving of these awards and who isn't. Like, you're telling me the guy is no worse than the 10th best player in the league right now. And that guy isn't going to be recognized as an all NBA team member because of your arbitrary number count. As Mason pointed out, he's leading the league in blocks by a very large margin. The reason why Dyson Daniels, people think he has a DPOY case because he's leading the league in steals by a very large margin. While also putting up 24 points and 11 rebounds. And our small team in his third game just out rebound that team by at least 15 rebounds. They just dominated the glass is how they went. And we talk about the blocks. You don't go to the rim. Like you don't go to the rim on a 2-on-1 fast break. You will still pull it out. He blocks threes. He handles switches well, all by putting up 30, 40 a night sometimes. Like, he is one of the most impactful players in the league, and his season will all be but forgotten. And as great comment, you don't want the alternative is dudes playing 20 minutes a game so you reach 65 games so you can make all NBA. Like, that's just it's unnecessary. I believe there's a middle ground. Go ahead.
No, I mean, exactly. Like, there's got to be. So again, it gets. I don't think it's about not trusting the writers to know. You always get some wonky votes, right? But that's a one-off. That's not usually the norm. But I understand, again, the desire to have players suit up, right? Play. The question is this
absolutely
is this doing that? Like, is it truly serving the right purpose? And I think it's very fair to question whether it is.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, maybe there's a lesser games play where it's like something like, I don't know.
I've always said, always thought, like, first of all, the maximum should be what it makes for to be official stats, and that's 58 games. I think that should be your cap if you're talking about not minimum, the cap when you're talking about a first team All NBA or whatnot. If I thought like 1,500 minutes should qualify you for the third team. 1900 minutes, not games played, minutes played to qualify you for the second team, and then 58 games or 2100 minutes played. Now you could get all NBA first team eligibility. You can get DPOY. So even if you don't make it, his season is going to be remembered. And I just believe that you're erasing this crazy season completely off, basically facing the record books by having a month and a half off. You sprain your ankle for 6 weeks, you're done. You get a hamstring pull, you're done. I don't think that is fair to the player who's been one of the best players in the league. Regardless of it, and regardless of player, but Wemby is going to be that dude. Like, we're propping him up as the next guy. He's the next face of the league. Ant might have been a little flippant, but he's absolutely right. He's going to be the next face of the league. And you're telling me that he shouldn't get all NBA praise? And no disrespect to Jaren Jackson Jr. or Domantas Sabonis, who may be able to take advantage of this. Do what you got to do, especially Triple J, if that comes with a little extra money may come your way. But I just don't feel right having one of the 8 best players not making it. It don't feel right.
The total minutes is interesting. I don't know. I guess selfishly, I always think back to that year where Drew Holiday got punted off the second team all defense by DeJounte Murray, who was playing 20 minutes a game off the bench, not even defending like real players, real NBA players like Drew was.
That's true.
So I could get behind it for that reason alone. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's
and also like the high games played, when you're also refusing to stretch out the number of days you're going to play. Like, you don't want to push it into early October because you're scared of the NFL. You don't want to really have your games going past your game 7 of the finals going past Father's Day. And you're telling these players to not take rest, not take off days, with understandable because you want to sell tickets. But at the same token, like, these guys are human. They're playing the fastest pace they've ever played in NBA history. They don't stand still like in the 80s and 90s. And that's my era of basketball. But there's a lot of standing still. There's a lot of, hey, everybody be condensed in this 18-foot area and playing one-on-one basketball. They're moving their big guys. You have to be able to move your feet on the perimeter. That's just asking a lot for guys to play that many games to qualify for the awards.
On the flip side, though, if you play for Nick Nurse or Tibbs, you're going to qualify in the first 20 games of the
season. Josh Hart could be first team All NBA before.
Josh Hart's already qualified for next. He's already qualified for next season.
Oh man, but yeah. This may be a short one, guys. I don't know how we had things to say, and the Pelicans wound up winning. Go ahead.
We gotta like Joel said, we gotta wait for the test results from the babies to come back from that halftime race. And if our boy tests, if our winner tests positive for HGH or something, we gotta do another run.
Just like Barry Bonds, man. I need it. I need it. Nope. You're not gonna rob Drew Holiday out of this, man.
I keep thinking about that scene from Dodgeball where the team that disqualified was like in a low grade beaver tranquilizer and some shit.
No, man. The Similac was not doped. I understand that is that's. The peas were on the up and up. We are good. He's a go-getter, man. He's a go-getter, man.
That kid was awesome.
He knew what he needed. Awesome. He saw Dad having his favorite toy, and I got to get it by all means. Yeah, Bob Port. He lost 25 games because he took the wrong meds. Everyone look it up. He was supposed to have Toradol, which yeah, athletes are crazy. But he took tramadol, and it was in his system, and he got caught up, and they beat Miami tonight, but man, they need all the decent players he get. Unfortunately for the Bucks, Kyle Kuzma's on the roster. He can play some stretch four, right?
Yeah, yeah. He'll shoot it. He will do that.
He will. Hey. Some shots have opened up. Some buckets have opened up in Milwaukee. Also, that was a skirmish in the Cavs Grizzlies game. Sorry guys, the Pelicans won, and it was a blowout. I don't know how we supposed to. You can't analyze stuff. Carlo was amazing. Career high for him. We're just gonna talk about some basketball, some the NBA stuff. Like I said, I think, yeah, Donovan Mitchell got an inbounds, got a loose ball, called timeout, and then Desmond Maine decided your timeout don't matter. I'm still going to try to get the ball. 12 seconds after you did that, and Tristan Thompson decided that he was going to come from the sideline and touch the court for the first time in 5 weeks. That isn't a blowout. And start a skirmish. Yeah, it was crazy. Go ahead.
What's your ideal? Forget Cleveland and Boston.
Okay.
What is your ideal first for 4, 5, and 3, 6 in the East? What's your ideal playoff matchups?
Oh, does the East have 7 teams so I can actually believe they should be in the playoffs? Hold on. Let's go with this. Let's go to these standings.
Well, we know it's Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Pistons.
Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Pistons. I would.
Orlando could get there. But let's pretend they don't. Like, what do you want?
If Indy could get to 3, I would love to see Indy Detroit. I would love that first round matchup.
Yeah, Malice and Palace, baby. Of course, that's what you gotta have.
Hold on. First of all, I'm getting you in playoff games.
I know.
First and foremost,
I know.
But the Holly and Kate, like Kate, being able to be put on to be put in a spotlight to show why he was number 1 overall pick. People may not understand, and I wasn't a big Cade guy. The further the season goes along, the better he's getting. Like, he's not turning the ball over like he was last month. The 3 is starting to fall down. The decision making is getting better, and his number 1 course of action is find Beasley. Find Beasley, find Durant. Asher Thompson is a menace defensively. His brother gets all the praise for his second time, but he is also doing things in Detroit. So yeah, those young guys against the fast-paced Pacers team, I would love seeing that.
I think more likely is that would be 4 or 5. Like if the Bucks could have like a, the Bucks could say we don't care about the 5 seed. We'd rather make sure we rest guys and be healthy for the playoffs. Because they're not falling past 6. So I could see that. But yeah, I mean, besides the Pistons Pacers being for all the narrative reasons, like the loser of Knicks Bucks. Can you imagine? What happens there? Either of those teams are going to be just out of their minds, pissed off.
Somebody is going to be on you traded all these draft picks to lose in the first round. I mean, as a team that has 2026 swap rights with the Bucks, I would love nothing more than a first round upset.
Well, we got their pick in 27 too.
I think it's just top 4, ain't it? Oh, we got
still
got 27. Yo, yeah. Oh, yes. Let's start this agenda right now.
Yeah.
Giannis looking around like, wow, all y'all 30 years old and over, including me. Somebody needs to leave, and guess who that somebody is?
Yeah,
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, so I would love, and the flip side of that, Karl Anthony Towns doing crazy dumb stuff and picking up 3 fouls in 8 minutes going against Giannis. That also
Yeah.
that could be a trippy series.
Yeah, and man, like let's get crazier with the Pistons. Like if they played the Pacers, beat them, then you get Pistons Cavs, and I'm thinking back to like the early LeBron days, like against those Pistons teams. Like that's so fun. Like I'm in. I'm so in. Not just because I'm in Detroit now. I'm so in.
You want to just you watch the television, see the Pelicans, and say, "Hey, these guys are actually playing real basketball, competitive basketball."
And they get to play in the East.
Yes. Yo, speaking of the East, let's go further down the standings. Do you understand that the Portland Trailblazers have a better record than the 10th seed in the East, your Chicago Bulls, because they're not mine?
I did not realize that. And
oh my
every
God,
year,
it's so
every year there's a
dreadful.
story like this.
Every year. Hey, as someone who was dumb enough to say that the Brooklyn Nets may have the worst record in NBA history, I would love nothing more for them to take that 10 seed. You've already made me look like a fool. Go ahead and get in the play-in. Go against Atlanta. Go ahead.
What's the? I gotta look up and see what the worst 10 seed record is in. Because the Pelicans had a bad one. They were 10 under 500, right, when they made it or something like that. But the East, there's definitely a worse one.
Bulls are already 13 games under 500.
That's why I'm asking. I don't know, man.
No, okay, so we were 10 and we were in the 9. I think the Spurs were like 35 and 47. You could check that out to confirm, but even they were more competitive than these Bulls. If there are any Bulls fans who are listening to this or watching in the chat, y'all gonna agree with me. Y'all don't like watching this team. Y'all just don't.
No way.
Y'all don't want to like watching this team. Y'all don't want to watch them for 83rd game. No one does.
No, absolutely not. And the worst part is that if you play an 83rd game, there's a chance you get an 84th game.
Oh God, no! Stop it at 83. Nah, we're gonna stop it at 83. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Suns, who have a $200+ million payroll,
the grumpiest team I've ever seen.
The other team I can't stand watching, who just lost to the 13th seeded Toronto Raptors, who are now 18 and 39 by double digits. The Suns are the 11th seed in the West, and I think the Suns actually do want to see what's supposed to be this team, but man, it's just a bunch of dudes taking middies and not caring on defense. Like it's just bad over there at Phoenix.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm more as much as I would love to hate watch Warriors Suns for the 9-10 seed. Like I'd rather get the Kings in there. Like I'd rather watch Sacramento play in that. Like I think the Kings could come out of that. The Kings come out of the play-in. Like
well, okay, I'm not gonna go that far. I don't think the Kings gonna get out the play-in, especially if Minnesota's there. But
well, that's the 7th seed. The Kings could get the 8. I mean, like I guess I don't know. What's gonna put Dallas?
Maybe they could beat Dallas if Dallas falls to 9. But hey, man,
Dallas could fall out. Dallas could fall out. They got no one help. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. But
if Dallas falls out, does the city survive?
that fan base has abandoned that team already. Like I don't know.
We got a question in the chat. Did you watch the game last night? What do you think about the Nuggets Lakers game last night?
I didn't. I caught the highlights, but I did not catch it last night.
I watched the game. They basically said, "Hey, you know what's better than having one phenomenal 6'8", 260-pound top 10 passer of all time? Having two." And that's what they told the Nuggets. You could have your one phenomenal passer, top 15 player, top 10 passer of all time. We got two, and one is strong enough to maintain him while Vando will play weak side, and then LeBron will switch back going to his weak side defense. He looks like but he got to retire, right?
Eventually.
So, he got to retire. He looked like a new Masters Luka guy. This is ridiculous.
Hey man, yeah. I don't have picks. I don't have the picks anymore. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. He got to retire sooner or later. He's gonna make 50,000 points scored before he retires. This man is a menace. But no, I just think they do have a way to compete with the Nuggets now. I think they're confident they can hold off on them. It's just the rest of the West is just so unbearable. I don't know how the Lakers, even though they're the 4 seed right now, you know, they good look good against the Nuggets. I don't know how they're gonna look good if they have to face like if they fall a little bit and have to face the Clippers or
I think. I
whoever.
mean, yeah, like it feels chalk right now, but I think I think Memphis has been extra cautious with their guys this year. Like you see Ja taking random rest days, and like I feel like and they haven't been playing a ton of minutes. Anyone up and down that
No,
roster, I
they're the
think
anti Knicks.
they're a sleeping giant, and they're probably closer to Oklahoma City than we give them credit for when they get in the playoff mode. No, OKC's going to win that series, I think, but I think that they're closer. Like right now, they're 8.5 back in the standings. I think they're closer to Oklahoma City than that. Is all I'm saying.
Can I give, as someone who touted OKC since the beginning of the season, who had #1 in the Western Conference tiers, I ain't scared if they don't have a second score. I'm officially at, if SGA is inefficient, where do they go in half court?
Like, I mean, I think now with Chet healthy, I think there's enough around J-Dub to not to let him be but like
it's I thought he was deserved All-Star, but man, it gets real cluttered in the half court if they're not
the
hitting
thing
shots.
is, no, I mean the thing is SGA is that dude though. Like we've seen it. We've seen it, and a lot of people were calling him out for like grifting into fouls and like is this game going to hold up in the playoffs? Like yes, it will hold up.
Yes,
and like he'll have off nights, right? But I think now with the team, like as like how, knock on wood, they stay healthy. Like that's a squad right there. And I think I think there are a couple teams that give them a little trouble. Like they're not. I don't think they're gonna 10 games. Like they might win the West by 10 games. They really might, but I don't think that is representative of it's going to be a cakewalk to the finals. Like definitely not. Like I'm not there. So I think they do come out of the West. I do believe that, but I don't. I mean, it's going to be a battle, a couple of battles potentially.
So I'm gonna do a little remix of what you asked me in the East. Which team do you want from the play-in? Do you want to see Memphis face in the first round to be their toughest matchup? So right now we have Minnesota. You're not counting Dallas. The new look Golden State Warriors. The Clippers are tied in the win column with Minnesota. So let's go with those 3 teams.
Look, I mean, honestly, I think if of those teams, I'm not counting out the Mavericks. I'm not. Like okay. My point about Dallas was, can they survive to even make the play-in? If they do, AD's back. That's probably the toughest matchup for Memphis. I think is a full strength Mavericks team.
That's a lot of
yeah, I mean, I think to be better with a guy named Luka, but regardless,
and don't forget Secret Sauce Schmidt, who was also traded for cash considerations.
Man, yo, happy birthday, Schmidt!
Yeah, happy birthday, man. That's why he's not here, guys. He's he has had one great month, and he'll be back refreshed and can't wait to talk Pelicans with us.
Yeah,
but yeah, go ahead.
I'm still so pissed at I'm so pissed at Minnesota for what they did to that team, trading Cat for Julius Randle. Like poor Ant, because like that team should be nasty and should be giving should be pushing the Clippers down to the 7th seed. But no, I mean I think I guess I need to see a little bit more of Golden State with Jimmy Butler. They look decent. So
more than decent, man.
Yeah. So
they look more than decent.
That's probably the answer, right? Like it's Dallas at full strength of the Warriors, like one of those 2 teams. Like
yeah, I want to believe in Naz Reid so much to say that he'll be enough of a scare, but Memphis is again such a deep team. Josh has they're do not believe the hype. Do not think that Josh is not good. People are saying Jaren is their best player, and he is their best regular season player. We have seen what Ja Morant can do in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know,
Ja's going 80% right now.
Yep.
I mean, he is. That's why, again, I think Memphis is the clear-cut second best team. We talked about this before the season about like our tiers and the fact that like Dallas being ahead of Memphis was like, I thought that was nuts. I think we all kind of agree that was a little bit questionable.
Well,
but
the guy who created the tiers thought Luka Doncic was going to win the MVP for the Dallas Mavericks, and look what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't realize his GM was starting him fat behind his back 20 times a day.
Oh man!
Well, had that inside information, he would have been a little further down.
Yeah. But I mean, like, so I think to round out the question, I think Grizzlies, Mavs, and Thunder Warriors would be my two. Because I mean, what will be better than that? Like having this up and coming young team against all the fucking wily veterans of Draymond and Steph and Jimmy Butler. Like that'd be a great ass series. Like I think it's OKC in 6, but it's a fun 6. You know, like maybe 5. I don't know, but
to bring out a question: is the big three model dead or unburied? Golden State's big three, I think, equals a century in age, and OKC's big three can't even get Social Security yet. So
can anyone know? Can anyone get Social Security anymore? So yeah, right. We can't go there.
It's been 34 days, and I'm already ready to. It's been 34 days, man.
I can't start. I won't stop. But yeah,
we're talking about Pelicans basketball here. We're going to talk about Pelicans. We're going to talk about the NBA at large on this stream.
Yeah, what I mean, like, what's the closest thing to a big three in the West? Is it like LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves?
There are people who are happy about these 34 days who wants Austin Reeves to be in that big three.
Because the most notable big three is at 11th place in the Western Conference right now.
That's what's spurring the question.
That's the one that's making $150 million combined.
Yeah. Oh wait, we don't think about the big three in Sacramento of Domas, DeMar,
and Levine.
and Levine.
All right, I'll take it.
Don't big four, because Malik Monk will let you know that Malik Monk is in the big four. So that big four of just being the Bulls West. Because think about it, Malik is just what Bulls fans want Kobe White to be. Sabonis is a better Vooch, and then Levine and DeMar are just Levine and DeMar, and they've turned my favorite wing that's not on the Pelicans, Keegan Murray, into Lonzo Ball, just having to play defense. I hate that they've done that, but they're just Bulls West now. The good Bulls, the Bulls that won 49 games. That's what we're saying. Those Bulls, the good ones. Yeah.
That's all I got. So big threes are dead, except for Cleveland and Boston in the East, because they've got like big 6 teams.
The
whole team.
They got big teams, man. They got multiple All NBA players on first and second lines. Like, Peyton Pritchard's gonna win 6 Man of the Year just because he gets to jack up shots.
All this tells me, the only thing that what Boston and Cleveland tell me more than anything is when you pay all your dues at the same time, everyone's playing for each other. Everyone's playing for each other, and it really is that simple. And so it's fun to see those teams gel the way they have, and that I will be shocked if that is not our Eastern Conference Finals.
I would definitely be shocked, because Dan Gilbert's going to lose his mind if he doesn't make the Eastern Conference Finals. That may be an incentive for them to lose for me, because it'd be funny. It would be funny, but I don't know if they're going to walk away with the East the way we're talking about the Thunder in the West, but they are so good. They are so good. They play, like you said, they play together for each other. Ty Jerome, I don't know if he represented the entire team, but they are happy with Atkinson in ways they weren't happy with JV Bickerstaff anymore.
Yeah.
And he's a key contributor. Like the Cavs are fun to watch. The Celtics. Just watch the Celtics play defense, man. Don't worry about the threes. Don't worry about none of that craziness. Watch them play defense, and they are a joy to watch every single game.
Especially now Drew's back.
With Drew's back and White being a rim protector, and Chris Stapps is healthy again. Like they see, we'll leave on this. How about this? We're gonna leave on this. Is the Mikal Bridges trade one of the worst trades in NBA history?
Like,
okay, worse than 5 years. How about
probably? Like, yeah. The thing is, like, you can justify trades like that when the guy you're getting is a missing piece to you being like a legit contender, right? And that was the hypothesis for the trade with the Knicks. The problem is they don't have just Boston in front of them right now. They got Cleveland in front of them. I think that's what they didn't anticipate. And both those teams being like, if you making that trade is getting you a ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals, overpay, but fine. Right now, I don't like the pathway isn't there, and they just showed this weekend. That's the point. It's got their ass kicked by the actual best two teams in the East, and and they have a chance of losing the first round now, like we talked about earlier. So I would love. I would, as much. I'm with you on the Giannis leaving Milwaukee narrative for the Pelicans, but at the same time, if he went to Supernova and just like destroyed the whole Knicks team by himself, it would almost be worth it to me. Because I think then, because the Bucks, Giannis isn't doing that twice. Like, I don't see him being enough to beat Cleveland or Boston in the second round. Yeah. So like, I'm very much on board with that outcome. But yeah, it's bad.
I'm telling Giannis to be Reggie Miller just one time. Just be Trae Young. Just be the villain one good time.
Well, the Bucks are fucked next year. Like they got no. They're not like they're getting older. Like Like unless Kuzma's like just budding.
No, just go. No, they're getting older. No, you had it right the first time.
Yeah,
they're getting older. And I will say this: the 5 picks, similar to what happened with the Clippers, the 5 picks were also, hey, I want my best friend on the team. If you get my best friend on the team, I will sign for this team-friendly extension. So get my best friend on the team. Mm-hmm. And they're probably going to still have to pay him too. It's not really the Mikal Bridges 5 picks thing. It's giving OG Anunoby $200 million when you know he's not going to play any more than 50 games a year.
Yeah.
Like
and you've got Tibbs as your coach who's running them into the ground.
Like that's his thing. Yes, that's anything else, sir?
No, man. 45 minutes. We covered it. Like we're like let's good luck to the Pelicans on their Mardi Gras road trip.
Hey, good luck to them. Play competitive basketball. And we could talk about it next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this show. If you're watching it live, share it with your friends. If you're watching it later, share it with your friends. Share it with your enemies. We just want people to hear us talk basketball. We love what we do. And to tap the little globe, we kind of good at what we do too. So on that note, we're gonna see y'all next week.